I'll tell you a story of what had happened to me in the last couple of weeks. Is that I had a myelogram, and a myelogram is where they put they inject your spine with dye and then take X-rays and a scan. And I've had a couple of spinal taps before, and one was awful when I was a child, and the one as an adult was no picnic, but it wasn't horrible, but it wasn't any picnic. But nonetheless, what I noticed is while I was waiting on the machine, that I realized I was nervous, and this is really uncommon. The unit just the unit can get nervous. I'm not saying it can't, but as this kind of state is not common here. And so I paused, as I always recommend. I stopped and I looked at it for just a minute, and I realized what the problem was. And I just said quietly, I think I said it out loud, but I said very quietly, "You don't have any choice." At which point, I guess the nervousness was resistance to what was coming. And the nervousness just dropped away. And I was cool as a cucumber, and the test went as smoothly as you can imagine. I never had any pain. And I had some weirdness, the way that they shake that the fluid up, so that, I mean, the dye up so that it gets everywhere in the spine, is they can't shake up the dye, so they shake you up. Which is, they tip me on my head, sort of, and then back, and then back again, and this, you're doing this, which is you're shaking the bottle, and that was not particularly pleasant, but the shot was not a problem, and there really wasn't a problem. And that understanding that, because saying you have no choice, which is sort of a personalized view, not truly non-dual, but the underlying sentiment is, and this desire to live somewhere other than where the unit is. Because I didn't want to have to take this test, and nobody was forcing me. I could have said, we're not going to take this test, and we wouldn't have, but then I wouldn't have found out what was wrong with my back. So with the relinquishing of resistance, I mean, active resistance, which was noticing I'm nervous about this, so it wasn't awakeness is nervous about this. It was Fred that was nervous about the upcoming thing. And by simply noticing that there's no choice, this is what's going to happen, the unit is going to go through with it no matter what this tells it, then the resistance itself was what I was suffering from, not the myelogram, but the resistance to getting one, the resistance to the fact that I had to, the resistance to the fact that I was way out of control and all that, strapped down to a little bed. And when it passed, it was just marvelous. And I thought then, this is a story for song. So that's my recommendation, is to drop the sense of alternative.